Hello everyone, my name is Sakshi Rastogi. I am pursuing BTech in CSE from Bennett University. Today, I will be discussing a topic of computer networks, that is line coding schemes. So, in this video, I will be discussing about the topics listed over here so you can have a look at it. Now, we will study about what is line coding. What do you mean by line coding? Line coding is a process that converts digital data into digital signal. So, with the help of line coding, we can convert a sequence of bits into digital signal at the sender side. Also, with the help of line coding, we can convert digital signals into a sequence of bits at the receiver side. So, the process of converting a sequence of bits into digital signals is known as encoding, and the process of converting digital signals into a sequence of bits is known as decoding. Now, I will discuss an example of how we can convert a binary data into digital signal with the help of line coding. So, here the binary data is 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. So, when this data is passed through line coding, it gets converted into digital signal. So, whenever the bit is 0 in binary data, we will draw a line on the x-axis, and whenever the binary data bit is 1, we will move above in the positive direction of the x-axis, and we will draw a line at the level of 1. So this data, when gets passed through line coding, it gets converted into digital signal. So here the binary data bit is 0, so I am drawing a line on the x-axis. Then the binary data bit is 1, so I am moving above the x-axis in the positive direction, and I am drawing a line at level equals to 1. Again, the binary data bit is 0, so I am moving down and drawing a line on the x-axis. Then the binary data bit is 1, so I am moving above the x-axis in the positive direction, and I will be drawing a line at level equals to 1. Again, the binary data bit is 1, so I will draw a line above the x-axis in the positive direction at level 1, and then I will move towards the x-axis, this line. Now we will discuss about the characteristics of line coding. The first characteristic of line coding is signal level and data level. What do you mean by signal level? Signal level is the number of values allowed in a particular signal. What is data level? Data level is the number of values that are required to represent the data. In order to have more clarity about signal level and data level, let's look at an example. So, in this example, we are given data and signal. Data is represented as 0, 1, 0, 1, and the signal is represented like this. So we can see that whenever the bit in the data is 0, so we are drawing a line over the axis. Let's say it is x-axis. And whenever the bit in the data is 1, we are creating a line above the x-axis in the positive direction at level 1. We can see that the bits in data can be either 0 or 1. So the data level is 2. because the bits in data are represented either by 0 or by 1. And in signal, whenever the data bit is 0, we are drawing the line over the x-axis, and whenever the data bit is 1, we are drawing a line above x-axis in the positive direction at level 1. So in the digital signal, either we are drawing a line on the axis or above the x-axis in the positive direction. So the signal level is 2. Now look at another example. Here the data bits are represented as 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, and the signal is represented as this. So we can see that whenever the data bit is 0, we are drawing a line on the x-axis. Okay, and whenever the data bit is 1, we are drawing a line above x-axis in the positive direction at level +1. Now the next data bit is again 1. So you will be thinking that why I have created this block in the negative direction of the x-axis. So the reason is that whenever the first bit, that is 1, comes, we will be creating a line above the x-axis in the positive direction. And the next one, whenever another one comes, I will be creating a line in the opposite direction of the previous one. So here the first one is this. So I have created a line above the x-axis in the positive direction, and then this one comes. Okay, so I will be creating a line in the opposite direction of the previous one. So the previous one was this, and I have created a line above the x-axis in the positive direction. So in this case, I will be creating a line below the x-axis in the negative direction at level -1. Now the next bit in data is 0. So I will be creating a line on the x-axis. Now again the next bit in the data is 1. So I will be creating a line in the direction opposite to the previous one. So in the previous one, I have drawn a line below the x-axis in the negative direction. So this time I will be creating a line above the x-axis in the positive direction of x and at level +1. Now the next characteristic that I will be discussing is pulse rate and bit rate. So before moving to the definition of pulse rate, it is necessary to know what is meant by pulse. So pulse is defined as the minimum amount of time required to transmit a symbol. So the pulse rate is the number of pulses per second, and the bit rate is the number of bits per second. If pulse corresponds to only one bit, then the pulse rate will be equal to bit rate. But if pulse corresponds to more than one bit, then the pulse rate will be lower than the bit rate. Now let us look at the relationship between the bit rate and the pulse rate. So bit rate is equal to pulse rate into log L base 2, and it is also represented as pulse rate into M, where L is equal to 2 raised to the power M and M is the number of bits per sample. So there are basically two formulas. Either you can use pulse rate into log L base 2, where L is equal to 2 raised to the power M and M is the number of bits in one sample, or either you can use the formula pulse rate into M. Okay, so if one sample is represented by 1 bit, then the bit rate will be equal to pulse rate. Why? We know that m is equal to number of bits per sample, and it is given that if one sample is represented by 1 bit, so one sample is represented by 1 bit, so the value of m will be 1, and if I put it over here, then the bit rate will be equal to pulse rate into 1, which is nothing but bit rate is equal to pulse rate. But if one sample is represented by multiple bits, that is more than 1 bits, then the bit rate will be greater than pulse rate. So obviously if the value of m is greater than 1, then the bit rate will be greater than the pulse rate. Now we will discuss about different types of line coding scheme. The first one is unipolar line coding scheme. In unipolar line coding scheme, all signal levels are on one side of the reference line. That is, all the signal levels are either above the reference line or below the reference line. So, in order to have more clarity about this, we will understand this through an example. And here I will be discussing a type of unipolar line coding scheme, that is NRZ, unipolar NRZ. Unipolar NRZ is quite costly. So, before solving an example of unipolar NRZ, let us understand that how the bits in data, that is either 0 or 1, will be represented in the while creating a digital signal in the unipolar NRZ. So whenever the bit in data is 1, we will create a line above the reference line. So the reference line here is the time axis. Okay, this axis is the reference line. Okay, and whenever the bit in the data is 0, we will create a line on the time axis. Okay, so I have taken an example where the digital data is 10110. So let's draw the digital signal for the unipolar NRZ by following these steps. So here first I will write all these bits. Okay, so 1 0 1 1 0. Okay, now the first bit in the data is 1, and we have seen that whenever the bit in data is 1, we will be creating a line above the reference line, that is the time axis. Okay, so I will be creating a line above the reference line at the level equals to b. Okay, so I have created this. Now the next bit is 0. So following this rule, we have to create a line on the reference line. So I am creating this line on the time axis. Now the next bit is 1. So I will be creating a line above the reference line. Okay, so here, but I will not move this line in the downward direction because again the bit is 1. So I will be extending this line. Now the bit is 0. So the line will be created over here on the reference line, and I will be joining these two lines through this straight line. Okay, vertical line. So here is the unipolar NRZ digital signal. Now the next line coding scheme is polar line coding scheme. So there are two types of polar line coding schemes, NRZ-L and NRZ-I. In polar line coding scheme, all the signal levels can lie on either side of the time axis. That is, the signal levels can lie on above the time axis, and also they can lie on below the time axis. So the major difference between the unipolar line coding scheme and polar line coding scheme is that in unipolar line coding scheme, all the signal levels lie on either side of the time axis. That is, the signal levels in unipolar can lie either on the above side of the time axis or below side of the time axis. But in polar line coding scheme, the signal levels can lie on both the sides of the time axis. That is, sometimes the signal levels will be above the time axis, or sometimes the signal levels will be below the time axis. So in order to have more clarity about the polar line coding scheme, let us understand it through an example. So in NRZL, the rules are that whenever the bit in the data is 0, we will create a line above the reference line. So the reference line is the line that is the time axis. Okay, so this is the reference line. Okay, and whenever the bit in the data is 1, so we will draw a line below the reference line. Okay, so now let's look at an example. I've taken the digital data to be 01001110. Okay, and I have taken two axes where the first axis, that is the x-axis, is time and the y-axis is amplitude, and I have written the bits of the digital data over here. Okay, and I will be extending this line because the lines will be drawn below the reference line also. So let's start. So the first bit in the digital data is 0. So as per the rules, we have to draw a line above the reference line. So I am drawing a line above the reference line. Let's say that this level is V. Okay, it is a positive voltage level. Okay, the next bit is 1. Okay, so for 1, the rule is that we have to create a line below the reference line. So I'm creating a line below the reference line. Okay, and I will be joining this through like this. Okay, and now the next bit is 0. So again I will be drawing a line above the reference line, that is this, and I will be joining all these two. The next bit is 0, so again I am drawing a line above the reference line. The next bit is 1, so I will be moving down to the, let's say that this voltage is negative V. Okay, this level is negative V, and I will be creating a line below the reference line. Again the bit is 1, so I will be drawing a line below the reference line, so I am continuing this line. Again the bit is 1, so I will be drawing a line below the reference line, and the last bit is 0, so I will be moving up and creating a line above the x-axis, that is the time axis, and I will be joining these two lines. Okay, and I will not move further because there are no more bits, so I will stop over here only. Okay, so this is how we represent the data in the NRZL line coding scheme. So the next example that we will be discussing is about NRZI. So the rules in NRZI is that if the bit in the data is 0, then there will be no transition. And what does no transition means? It is that whatever line we have created for the previous bit, the same line we will draw for the 0 bit. Okay, and whenever the bit in data is 1, so there will be a transition. That is, whenever whatever line we have drawn for the previous bit, we will draw a line opposite to that in case of bit 1. Okay, So I have taken a digital data 01001110. Okay, and now I will write it over here 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 and 0. Okay, so the first bit is 0. So whenever the first bit is 0, that is no transition. So we don't know that what is the line drawn for the previous bit, because there is no previous bit, right? So we will always start from the positive axis. Okay, that is the axis above the time axis. So we will start from here. Okay, yeah, and now the bit is 1. So bit 1 means that there will be transition. So for the previous bit, that is 0, I have created a line above the time axis. So this time I will be creating a line below the time axis, that is at level -1, and I will be joining these two lines. Okay, yeah, and now the next bit is 0. So 0 means no transition. So I will continue this line. Okay, and again the bit is 0, so I will again continue this line, because 0 means no transition. Now the next bit is 1. The next bit means 1 means that there will be a transition. So the line that I have drawn for the previous bit, that is 0, is below the time axis. So this time for 1, I will be drawing a line above the time axis. So this. So I will be joining both these lines. Again the next bit is 1. So there will be a transition. So for the previous bit, that is when I have created a line over the x-axis. So this time I will be creating a line below the reference line. Okay, so I will be joining this. Again the next bit is 1. Okay, so the line that I have drawn for the previous bit is below the time axis. Okay, or we can say the reference line. So this time I will be creating a line above the reference line, and I will be joining these two lines. The next bit is 0, so there will be no transition. Okay, whatever we have drawn for the previous bit, the same line I will draw for this bit also. So in the previous I have drawn a line above the time axis, so this time also I will be drawing a line above the time axis, and I will stop here. I will not move this line to this time axis. Okay, so this is how we draw the digital signal for the NRZ-I. Thank you everyone. I hope you liked the video.